Where'd you find me? Hello, hello. So we have some protein recipes on the menu, as always. So we're starting with my blueberry muffins. I've got flour, sugar, protein powder, butter. I'm going to put 2 eggs. A little applesauce is what's in here so far. We got some awesome farm fresh eggs last weekend. I just gotta finish up here. So these are I've made these a trillion times. That's why I started without it. These are my protein blueberry muffins that you guys have seen me 8,000 times. So I hope everyone's having an awesome Friday. I apologize if you hear banging. The washing machine is having a field day with my hoodie. Okay. Bear with me, guys. So in there, there is eggs, sugar, melted butter. It's plant-based because it's very low carb and low fat. Shouldn't say low carb, low calorie, low fat. A little vanilla, protein powder, flour, baking soda, salt. And now we will add our blueberries. And I got giants because why not? Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull that. I am very heavy blueberry. These are so good. Smooth and I have them we have them every single morning. They are 163 calories for 1 loaf. 7 grams of carbs because I use gluten-free flour. 4 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein. If you guys have any questions, oh my gosh, awesome. Hey, Stu, she's around here somewhere. I know you guys missed hearing my voice, so I took a couple, we've just had some busy times, so I took a couple Fridays off here for my baking. So I already have the oven preheated at 400, and we're just going to get these scooped. Oh, okay, hold on. There it goes. What happened? You know, I love these cookie scoops, but they're only made so well. So, sorry, got a little stuck. So we just do 1 big heap and scoop per. And it's just about 3 tablespoons of batter. And these are going to cook for about 25 minutes. And I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on them. Little crystallized sugar, because you know they look so good. So I wasn't going to make these because, I'm getting a little tired of certain recipes. But Smooth and I love them so much. And they truly are so good. And then I've got some new recipes too coming up as well. So let's see here. Hey, Stu. Like I said, Smooth is still at work. Hello, Dora. Thanks for chiming in and watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free. These are protein-filled blueberry mini loaves and muffins. They are a great energy boost. They are low carb. Because of the protein, it helps keeps us full. So, like I said, we've been having one every single morning. And then I'm gonna make what I made last week that you guys didn't see. Next is chocolate chip butterscotch protein cookies. And then I have instead of bread, I am making banana banana peanut butter brownies. So hello, right? Sign me up for that. Let me get my sugar out. Shout out to the 17 watching. I so appreciate it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about anything, I'm currently 111 pounds down. So these are all set for the oven. They're going to go in, like I said, for about 25 minutes. And then we will check on them. And then I'm going to start these brownies. Those eyes. Let me just set my timer here, guys. Alexa, set timer for 22 minutes.
22-minute timer started.
Gotta love Alexa. Hi, Smooth Baby. I just was telling everybody I'm making a brand new thing, which I know my honey is going to love. I am making peanut butter banana brownies. I found this awesome recipe. I forgot to get out one thing. I can't remember what it was. Oh, parchment. Sorry, guys. I'm looking for parchment paper. Is the music too loud, guys? I hope you can hear me over the music. So I'm gonna line. I'm real quickly lining an 8x8 pan with parchment paper. Oh, Stu, your number one fan's here. Say hi, Maddie. Hello. Say hi, YouTube. She came to check things out. You know, once I start chopping, she's very interested. Okay, 3 bananas. Oh, let's get this. Did I show you guys my parchment trick? Better than being in jail and not be able to get my shake. Hey, don't knock the protein shakes. As of currently today, I have ingested 106 grams of protein so far today. So say what you want. It totally helps, and it's such a game changer. And I don't think people wanting to get healthy is anything to mock at. So 3 nanners, and we're going to smash them. And I'm actually thinking maybe I want to put 4 in there because they're kind of small bananas. But we'll try. Okay, so I've never shown you guys. I think I've shown you guys this, but I haven't used it before with you. PB2. Instead of peanut butter, basically you take this. It's by tablespoon, and you add water. I need a half a cup. What's awesome about it is 2 tablespoons is 8 grams of protein. So let me get our bananas mashed with my trusty little potato masher. I watch so many videos of people mashing bananas, and they mash them like so like eloquently. And I'm like, why are you mashing them with a tiny little fork? I get it maybe so that they look prettier for the video, but mashing a banana is mashing a banana. Do it the fast way. And honestly, if you don't have a potato masher or a potato ricer, you use a fork. But who doesn't have these things? Okay, so 3 bananas, and then I'm going to make a half a cup of peanut butter. Okay, does anybody have a quick math to tell me how many tablespoons are in a half a cup? Yeah, Stu, Mr. Smooth loves peanut butter. Um, and surprisingly, like I was so skeptical when I bought this. This is my third bottle that I bought. I was so skeptical when I bought it because I was like, there's no way it gives you that real peanut butter taste, but it really does. So, and literally the ingredients are roasted peanuts and salt. It's all that's in here. It's straight peanuts. So you're supposed to do 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. So let's see. The last time I made this, I had to actually add a little bit more water because it was a little too thick, which I think is going to be the problem here. See how it gets all clumped up. The one thing about peanut butter is, it in the grand scheme of things, it's healthy. In the grand scheme of if you're doing something like you're watching your weight or things like that, it can be a little what's the right word I'm looking for? It's not a good protein source. It's not a good protein source. It's good for like a snack. So what I'm gonna do is I also have this natural peanut butter, and this is 2 tablespoons. I usually like to do this when I'm making recipes just to help I don't want to say help the flavor. That's not what I'm trying to say. Um, because that little thing is only 50 calories. And it just gives a little bit of a boost. And I think I didn't have enough peanut butter, but let's see. We need a half a cup. And see, it does. It gets creamy like regular peanut butter. The only thing that it does not do is melt. It will not melt because obviously it started in powder form. Okay, I'm gonna need a little more for a half a cup. So 1, 2. Really do like. It's funny because I've seen some, certain people. I know Capio talks about protein powder, but I've heard a couple people talk about it, the joke, whatever, and I get it. I listen. I am the first one to tell you that I think that America has gone a little protein crazy. I don't know if it's like that everywhere or just America, but oh yeah, this is definitely okay. So half a cup of peanut butter. Um, so I think it's not a bad thing, and honestly, he actually hit on this in this morning, I watched this morning for like 3 minutes, but I overheard him talking about it. Um, you should have enough. Basically, what they say for protein is a half a gram of protein for every pound you weigh. So, um, that's what they recommend for people. Uh, the PB2 smacks. It totally does. Okay, what am I adding to this? Oh, maple syrup. There's no sweetener in this. syrup. I forgot my cocoa. I need 1/4 of a cup of butter. So we gotta melt that real quick. There's only like I think 8 or 9 ingredients in this. Okay. 3 tablespoons of the real stuff, maple syrup. Maple syrup naturally is extremely low calorie. It's a great sugar substitute, like honey, instead of using sugar. Like, okay, so 2 tablespoons is 50 calories. So that's really nothing. We need a 1/2 cup of cocoa. I'm excited to try these. The reviews on them were really good when I looked it up. I'm probably going to use all my cocoa here. Hello, Maya. These are protein. I totally lost my train of thought. Protein peanut butter banana brownies. They're flourless. So in the bowl, I have, yeah, bye. No trolls allowed in this channel. Hasta luego. Okay, so in here so far, we have bananas, maple syrup, peanut butter, melted butter. I need a little vanilla. Then I'm going to add the cocoa. I'm going to get this stirred up before I add that. Dash of cocoa. Basically, I'm missing baking soda, a dash of salt, and the cocoa in here. So I am going to do that. Hey, Miss B. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. Ooh. Peanut butter and bananas. I mean, you can't go wrong. And then you add chocolate to it. And like I said, I have a greased 8x8 already. Okay, so we get a 1/2 cup of cocoa. I use unsweetened Dutch processed. I am a huge fan of Ghirardelli. In my opinion, in the chocolate world, Ghirardelli is the shit. And then a dash of salt. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And that is it. And then it said to sprinkle brownies, Jesus, to sprinkle some chocolate chips. So we'll get this all incorporated. Super easy recipe, I felt like, that came together. They're supposed to be incredibly fudgy. I think they're going to be smooth if you're still watching, similar to our Coca-Cola brownies that I make. These might even be more fudgy though. Like I said, there's no eggs, there's no flour. It did say to sprinkle some chocolate chips. Oh, I'll show you. That was an Alton bag. I use 0 sugar. I get them where I can get them. Especially because they're so ridiculously priced. Okay, and that is it. So these go in the oven for 350. I'm gonna get these scraped in here. I'm so excited. They literally taste like, I mean, all I smell is peanut butter and bananas. So I'm really excited for these. Check in here with our little chatter. Thanks for stopping in, Maya. Have a wonderful Friday. Appreciate you watching. Okay. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. Here we go. I think I'm going to put some extra chocolate chips on the top too. Sorry guys, I'm just washing some of that chocolate off my hands. I watch a guy, a fitness guru who also is a great cook and baker. And this goes with his zero sugar chocolate chips. Measure with your soul. So that's how I kind of think. Measure with your soul. I need to save a little for our cookies that I'm making next. So I made these protein cookies last week and I only made like 10 of them because I didn't know if they were going to be good. And I think Smooth and I probably would have fought over one of the last ones. Okay. So these are going to be ready to go in the oven as soon as the blueberry come out. So those are all ready. I know there's let's wipe this up. Cocoa stains so damn much. I know there is a lot of talking going around. Let me just measure, make sure. Yeah, 35 for 20. So those are going to go in 350 for 20 minutes. Okay, cookie time. Do you guys have a favorite dessert or cookie? Anybody? Oh. So, and those brownies, I'm going to have to figure out the macros because I only I clipped the recipe, but not the whole thing where it had all the nutritional information on it. So I'm going to have to go back in there and fix that. Okay. Put this away. So we need a half a cup. Uh-oh. Rocket Man. Did anyone see, does anybody watch the Grammys? I don't really watch them. I just watched, I've been seeing stuff about Jelly Roll's speech, the country artist. And I just feel like his speech was phenomenal. He did a great job. Okay, so we want a half a cup of softened butter, which I'm getting here. I used both of my half a cuppers. You know, you think you have enough measuring cups, and then if you don't want to wash them after every time, I know I'm spoiled like that apparently. My life is just that good that I have extra half cup measuring cups. Okay. So we're halving it again because I was going to make a full batch, and then my fear was that Smooth and I would eat them in 2 days. So, okay, so a half a cup of softened butter, and then to this we are going to add my fourth of a cup and an eighth of a cup of brown sugar and sugar, and I got my Truvia, And then they didn't have my Truvia brown sugar, so we are using Swerve brown sugar, which we have used before. Rocket Man. Woo. Yeah, there's a ton of measuring cups. I've got, we have a bunch of different varieties, hon. Okay, so that's regular. And then we're going to get our brown. I've got a little left. If you guys don't know the trick, if your brown sugar is hard, I couldn't use this because the brown sugar was hard. If you put a slice of bread into your brown sugar for like 2-3 days, it softens it all up. They sell those brown sugar bears, but just use a slice of bread. It's cheaper. Okay. Sugar, sugar, do 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 do. Oh, honey, honey. Okay. Then let's get this put away. We're gonna get this all blended up. Bear with me, y'all. I just like to keep everything nice. Okay, we're gonna try to get this mixed up here. So this is just, like I said, the low-cal butter. And then I do 1/4 of a cup and 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar and sugar because the full recipe is 3/4. And that's why you have measuring cups to balance the shit. Okay, 1 egg. As you know, farm fresh, the only way to go. Dash of vanilla. Just dump it all in there. Time for the footy. See you next time. Bye, Stu. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you. We'll see you later in your chat. Egg vanilla. Okay, then we need 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. It's actually supposed to be a 1/2 teaspoon because I'm having it, so my apologies. I put a little too much. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Okay. And then I need 1 cup and 1/4 of a cup. No, I need the 1/8 of a cup. Whoop. Okay, before I stir this guy up for my cookies, let's get our blueberries here. Alexa, stop. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
5-minute timer started.
Okay. I'm sorry. I truly think baking with protein powder. Yeah, that's the blueberry mini loaves, baby. I think that the protein powder somehow keeps the stuff from browning. Does that make sense? I haven't done enough research to know if that's true or not, but I've noticed that like the stuff has to cook longer to get it browned. Okay, so then we're going to do a scoop of protein powder. This is the Body Fortress Vanilla. I have cooked with the Body Fortress and baked with it. And it does really well. Plus, one scoop is 30 grams of protein. This is making a mess. Okay, and this is our flour. Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1. It is gluten-free. Calorie-wise, pretty similar to regular flour. The main difference is I just want to put a little more. It's supposed to be 1 1/8 cup, but I use that protein powder, so I don't want to make it too dry. Okay. Beautiful. So, like I said, I made these last week. These protein cookies with the butterscotch and chocolate. They were so good. I think Smooth would probably agree with me that we would have fought each other if it came down to it for the last cookie. I mean, they turned out so good. This is why I normally do stuff in a mixer, because sometimes it doesn't come together fast enough for me. Never get far. So they obviously don't have a zero sugar butterscotch cookie, which in my opinion, they should. I am actually going to do this. I'm going to add about half an egg. The white egg adds nothing but protein, but I think that's going to help. There we go. Just that little addition of protein powder in a recipe. There we go. Sometimes you need a little moisture to bring it all together. Okay, so I got my zero sugar chocolate chippies. And I've got butterscotch chips. Now what's nice about these is literally a half a cup is 70 calories. So butterscotch is not that terrible. Last time I don't think I put enough butterscotch chips in because sometimes Smooth gets weird with flavors. And I know he said they weren't his favorite when I made these regular style. Okay, so we all know what we do with cookie dough. We rest our cookie dough. So this is going to go in the fridge for about a half hour. Okay. That's my drink. And no, it's not alcoholic. I am also going to make cottage cheese bagels. Oh, there's my timer. I'm going to make cottage cheese bagels as well. That's what's up next in the queue, as they say. You know, I don't know how these cooking channels do this stuff where they constantly want to, unless you put everything in 900 prep bowls. Okay, hang on. Oh, yeah, baby. Much better. Alexa, stop. Hang tight, guys. I'm just setting the oven. Then I'll show you my gorgeous little blueberries. We need We're going to put our brownies in. Remember, this is what our brownies look like. They're going in now. Alexa, set timer for 21 minutes.
21-minute timer started.
Perfect. Let me wipe off this counter real quick, guys. Keep everything nice and cleany. And then I will show you. Hold on. Those are just going to put in the washer. Okay. Look at our gorgeous blueberry mini loaves. They turned out so good. Oh my gosh. They look exceptional. Oh. So, okay. Let me put these away. I keep thinking that like one day I'm going to have this and like 900 people are going to be in here. But I appreciate every single one of you coming in, as always. Oh. BT loves the sugar in the pineapple will yell at me if I use that sprinkle sugar. He gets so upset with me. No sugar, Sassy. There's not that much, to be quite honest. Okay, I need a drink, guys. We're only going to do 3 recipes today because I'm a little tired this morning. Or this afternoon, I guess it is. I was running all over this morning at work. You have to do it like Yelzo. Who the hell is Yelzo? Hey, Sassy. How are you, love? Long time no see. My little namesake. Is it melted? Oh, pretty much. Let me see. Yeah, part of it is like dry. Almost already. Oh, part of it's all dried off already. So funny. Oh, hold on, guys. I'm just a little warm. Oh my God. Okay. I had to crack the window. I finally caught a live. Sassy, I haven't done them in like 2 weeks. I normally try to do some cooking streams on Friday afternoon. So I have one thing in the oven. My blueberry protein mini loaves are what you're looking at. And then my cookies are in the fridge just to firm up before I put them in the oven. Basically, I'll scoop them when the brownies are done. I saw you out there shoveling the alley too there this morning, my love. If we want to keep score, we got to tack it all down. Shout out to the 5 people. If you guys haven't subscribed, definitely do. Like I said, I got a little busy and I wasn't able to do some cooking streams, but I like to do Friday afternoons. And obviously some too if we have time, depending on what the running around we're doing for dinner wise. I was talking to my dad today and I gave him a bunch of soups. Great I've been lurking. My daughter has celiac. Oh, definitely. So, my cousin has celiac. The flour that I used on all of these is that Bob's Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. I highly recommend it. Um, it literally bakes exactly the same. You don't have to worry about doing a different measurement. That's what's in these. So, and I do basically what we've been on for over a year is low carb, um, low sugar, low fat, basically low calorie comes with that. For a while, for almost 6 months, I felt like we were vegans. But honestly, we were talking about that. I am so looking forward to going back for summer to hit, basically. Not even that, I guess just spring. Because living so far north that we do, um, we obviously get winter, so you can't grow things. Um, so like our farmers markets all stop. Like we have winter farmers markets, but they don't really have produce. So that's the unfortunate thing is going back in and buying stuff in the store. But we're going to start a garden. So we're definitely stay tuned for that because either on Smooth channel or mine, we're going to talk about all that. We have to buy seeds. We're going to start our seeding in the basement. It gets warm, which I'm super looking forward to. Like I said, but yeah, I've always been a huge foodie. There was a reason I needed to lose weight, right? I was raised to be it. My whole family was all about food all the time. um, so that's where I learned it from, my bad habits, I would say. Uh, and it's crazy to be this person at 45 and baked and handmade items. Yeah, no good. He's just into exactly. Yeah, like I'm assuming you're in. I'm guessing Chicago. I know you're a Bears fan, so I know they have some, but it's the same type of thing. We're further north, so. Baked and handmade items, but we are surrounded by good food. He said the other day, Smooth walked into the closet or after we had dinner, and he's like, "I just love food so much," and you can. I don't want to take. This is what my education taught me. My education taught me that my food education, I should say, has taught me that because when you start dieting, right, what do people think? What do people think? They think, oh, I just need to eat fruits and vegetables. And then you have people who tell you not to eat fruits and vegetables because you'll gain weight. Listen, no one ever got fat from fruits and vegetables. So it's so weird to me that some of these fad diets will say eat this fruit but not that fruit. Heaven forbid you eat a banana. Right. And food is your comfort thing, right? So, and every big celebration is food. So, I host Thanksgiving every year here. And this was the first Thanksgiving that since we had lost so much weight and we were going into the holidays, it was I made all this stuff and no one had any idea. I didn't put sugar or anything. I bought plant-based butter. I was using low calorie things. I was using sugar, a couple little sugar substitutes. I really enjoy monk fruit. If you can find it, food is a huge comfort thing. Exactly. That's why so many people emotionally eat. When you're happy, you eat. When you're sad, you eat. When you're angry, you eat. And that's what, and I know I've told Smooth this, and I think I've talked about this before, that's a big thing too of like when you're in such a state of like emotional state, it's great to exercise. Like there was one last week, and I can't remember what day it was or why, but I was so angry and I was storming around, and it was like a Tuesday morning, and I'm, in a grumpy room at work, and I was like, this is so ridiculous. It's nice outside. Throw your jacket on. So on my lunch break, I punched out and I literally went for a power walk because and as soon as I did, like all that stress just melts away. Like exercise is such a great thing to replace with, and I don't want to say because I still love food. I'm a foodie. I will never not love food. But um, you've never heard of what, Sassy? Monk fruit? So it's kind of similar. Okay, so there's stevia and truvia are like your most popular um, things. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. If it is monk fruit, it's basically eating the sugars that don't give you the upset stomach because there's some of the sugar substitutes that put erythritol in them, and erythritol, I'm probably saying that wrong. It's got 17 syllables. Um, it gives most people a tummy ache. So the good thing about finding like monk fruit or like stevia in the raw, literally one ingredient. Stevia is the stevia plant, which is the base of the sugar. And then monk fruit is actually a fruit. And I think it's somewhere in Africa. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's where it comes from. And they basically ground the fruit down and it makes sugar. My dad's a diabetic. So I have made stuff with monk fruit sugar in it for years. It's hard to find, but you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, so you bake with stevia. I would try if you can find it. Try monk fruit, and that's literally the only ingredient. But that's the whole thing, right? Like I've made chili, and I use turkey and chicken. I made soups, and I'm using turkey and chicken. That's another thing we started, Sassy. We eat so much chicken, and we used to be like, we're in the Midwest, we're in Michigan. So it used to be meat and potatoes. We'd have meat, potatoes, and vegetable. That's how I was raised, you know. So we had steaks all the time, potatoes all the time, and your little tiny side of gross vegetables. But and so it's so interesting to introduce myself, to re-educate myself with food and healthy options, and not just then but like share that with people. Like I started this whole thing with no plan of, I just wanted to be a healthy person. And I even remember saying to Smooth, just so I have boobs, I have a butt, I don't want to lose those. I've got my childbearing hips, I'm a girl. So it's like, I was like, I don't know what you think, but I don't want to be a twig. And he never even asked me. This was all me. And he was like, I don't care. He's like, whatever, whenever you get to a spot where you're happy. And my goal has changed 4 times now. My last goal is close. Um, because I kept going, oh, I feel so good. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, I feel so good. So that's why I said I'm right at about 111 pounds that I've lost. Um, my daily goal is about 1,300 calories a day, which I do really good at. And if there's days where I know, like yesterday, for instance, and I ate a lot, I am not hungry, but it's just learning how to eat. Yesterday, I had 830 calories. Um, they will be, Sassy. I'm slowly adding stuff, like I put them into the video. So like if you want, like I said, these are the blueberry protein loaves. I can post that, and then the brownies will be. So there's some stuff that I've made some stuff public, and I've moved some stuff private. So there's certain recipes out there, but I can happily I'll post them in the chat later. Um, in the description, because I know I have to go into YouTube Studio to do that. I hate that when they limit your description and what you can put in. So they'll be in there later. And like I said, you missed these, but these are blueberry protein loaves. So they're 163 calories a loaf, 4 grams of fat, 6 carbs, um, and 8 protein in each loaf. And we have one every morning. They've become our addiction. I was like, I need to make something else, but Smooth and I love them so much. So I'm like, I'm making the blueberry mini loaves. snacker, right? That's what gets you. And we are both late night snackers. So I usually make banana bread. I made this protein banana bread, which is ridiculously good. But now I'm doing these brownies that are in the oven, which I'm really excited about. Whoa. Okay. Sorry. It is. I said today I was already up to, and I don't even know how, but like I had my protein shake, I had my muffin, and then I've started drinking. If you guys, coffee is so low calories. It's nothing. So they now have protein milk at these places. So one of my coworkers got me the first one because they were like, "Oh, I bet you would love the." I saw that it had protein. So good. Like, who doesn't want protein? A medium coffee has 15 grams of protein. So that's really good. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see the brownies that turned out. I know they got to be close to being done. And then I should get these enough of my jibber jabbering. Let me make up some of these cottage cheese. Okay, Sassy, we have them. It's literally 1 cup of cottage cheese, and this has become my favorite brand. There's a reason, and I hate cottage cheese, but yeah, I'm on the cottage cheese trend. So normally I've been making everything bagels, and today I'm gonna do cinnamon raisin, just because I wanted to zhuzh it up a little. I am so excited for those brownies as well. Okay, so 1 cup cottage cheese, and we gotta whip the hell out of it. I wasn't gonna make these yet, so I didn't have my stuff out, but now I decided I'm gonna make them. Let me get my little whipper out. It's also amazing to me the magic of cottage cheese. Okay, so we need 1 cup. I have made so much stuff with cottage cheese, and every time I make something that turns out, I'm like shocked. And these bagels, which are literally 3 ingredients, I was not prepared for. Okay, I just got a little bit of leftover. So we'll get rid of the leftover. So when I started making all these cottage cheese recipes, everyone was like, "Oh, the cottage cheese matters," and I didn't care because I think cottage cheese is gross. But I totally get it now that I've bought this Good Culture a couple times. It creams up so well, and there's less milk in it. And I will say what I've learned from experience of making these, a little extra scoop. You need it for the moisture. Okay. Section. Let me blend this over here. Bear with me, the noise, guys. Say what you want about some of this old. See that it gets all creamy. Say what you want about some of these old, like this Sunbeam Oscar food processor. It's from like I don't know fucking when, and it works like such a champ. It's yellowed. It's old. It's from my mom. So we scoop all this, and then it's 1 cup of flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, if you have self-rising flour, use that. Not a lot of people have self-rising flour. So in order to do that, you need a dash of salt. I forgot that, my apologies. A dash of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not soda. Let me get the baking powder out. For this recipe, I'm going to not use the gluten flour. I'm going to use a regular all-purpose. You can use a gluten. I have before. I just need it for other things. Ooh. If I was baking powder, where would I be? I hear you. Okay, Alexa, stop. Let's get this put in there, and then we're going to check on those brownies. 2 teaspoons. And then what I'm also oh God, sorry guys. What I'm also going to add too is cinnamon at this point, which I'll show you. Let's check our brownies. Oh my God. Alexa, set timer 3 minutes.
3-minute timer started.
Okay. So then we've just got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Start again. And then we're going to add our cinnamon. Lead with your heart. I think I told you guys I've normally always made everything bagel, cottage cheese bagels. And I decided I wanted to mix it up and do cinnamon raisin. So it's going to be if it looks like this crumbly, what I've learned is if you add a little more cottage cheese, because you're going to roll these in flour, so you need it so it's not. It actually ends up, in my opinion, being almost 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. And when I add it, I don't bother blending. That little schmuck is not going to. Okay. As we can tell, I'm using the smallest scraper known to man for some reason. Hang on. There we go. So once it's all incorporated, this is going to make 4 bagels, okay? I'm going to add a little more cinnamon. And then I have this raisin medley, which I will show you. I love raisins, but like the golden raisins, who doesn't love those? I'm going to do about 1/2 cup of raisins. We'll see how it looks. What's nice is I can always add more raisins as I need them, is kind of what I was thinking. And then you brush these with egg wash, with basically egg whites. Okay. That's good. Floured surface. Another recipe that I want to make that I found is caramelized onion. Alexa, stop. Sassy, everything is so good. You can't even tell they're healthy. Those are excellent protein subs for diabetics. I'm going to make them. You still get some carbs for sugar regulation. Exactly. All right. Let me show you. Let me see these brownies and I'll show them to you. Oh my God. So they're supposed to be super fudgy. Oh my God. Okay, guys, look. Banana peanut butter chocolate brownies. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Smoothie, you're going to lose your mind when you get home, baby. They smell so good. Okay, so we want to leave that at 350 and let's get these put together here. Right? I'm telling you, somebody needs to invent smell-o-vision. I stand by that. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is I tend to take them and weigh them out. So you can get 4 that are pretty close in size. This is my little nifty KitchenAid scale. And that's how you get 4. The one thing that I will do, because I don't want to get my hands that gross, put some gloves on. So last time I pretty much, it was like 105 grams per bagel. Right, those brownies look everything. They're supposed to be like when I watch in the recipes, they're like leave them alone, let them set. They get super gooey. Okay. So the only thing that's probably going to throw off, which I didn't think about, is my raisins. That's 170. Because that's going to affect the weight of the dough. 154. Basically, it's trying to get them 141 as close to the same weight as possible. 139. And if you can get them 140, 139, 141, I think that's pretty good as long as the rest of this dough is doable to that. Let's find out. 132. I'm not upset about that. Okay. So basically, you're going to end up with 4 balls. I was curious about how and then we're going to roll them into a little bit of a log. I have tried different ways. I did this last time, so I'm going to try it this time. Last time I just balled them and stuck my finger in. Hold on. So too much flour. Let me see if I can read the text. Okay. So, and then the other way I did it was just kind of this with the finger and form it that way. They look small, okay? I thought this last time, but they pooped off so well last time. They did lose their circle, which is not a huge deal. They were still delicious to eat. All right. think I'm going to do that. Just stab them. And then I'm going to add, I'll add more raisins. For whatever reason, I don't know if it is the raisins in this dough, that I feel like it's looser. Okay. So freaking good. Beautiful. Oh, 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 oh. I'm like Lord singing in the kitchen. Okay. The flour helps if you go to get sticky. The gloves might hinder it a little, but listen, after having dough under my nails, you can only, sometimes you just need a break. One more. So yeah, Sassy, I will definitely put these recipes out there for you so you can see them. So you know. And as with anything, like I say, depending on, with the products that you use, that sometimes it can be a little different. Okay. Trying to make the holes bigger so they don't disappear. Last time they poofed up so much in the oven that the holes disappeared. And not that I mind that, but aren't they pretty? Cinnamon raisin cottage cheese bagels. About 180 calories a bagel, which is crazy low for a bagel. So I don't know if you're like me, Sassy. I've made a couple cottage cheese recipes that have been just utterly disasters. Okay, I don't mind watching your streams. Well, thank you. I've made a couple things that have become like utter disasters with cottage cheese. And you get a little disappointed and whatnot. I don't know if you've ever made cloud bread. I tried to make cloud bread. That was a disaster. I tried to make those Cheez-Its with the cottage cheese. No good. But these bagels, oh my God, they turn out so good. Okay. And what's nice is there's 4 of them, right? So it's not like you're wasting. Last week, I made some for my parents because we went to see them for 2 weeks ago, I guess. And so I made 8 of them. So we ended up with 6. And they lasted a week in the container. I put them in an airtight container. And they slice great to toast. They turned out great. Put some low-fat cream cheese, jelly, whatever you want on them. I'm going to grab some egg whites to do an egg wash on them. So I just buy, this is what I buy now, egg whites. Because it's literally everything's like add egg whites, add egg whites, add egg whites. And what's nice too is because even eggs are good, right? They're protein. Um, and the yolk is fat, but it's a good fat. Like good fats are okay. But you still want to watch them. So like I'll do a lot of things where they'll ask for like two eggs. I'll do one egg and then one egg white amount of egg. Excuse me. I'm looking for my brush. There she is. Here, we'll move you closer. Come into the flour with me. So then you just brush, and it helps them get a little goldeny brown. So I just kind of brush and tap. If it goes down a little on the sides, obviously I'm not upset about it. So I use about a teaspoon or two of egg white to brush on the top. And then these are ready for the oven. So I'm going to stick them in right away because the oven's empty. So they're going into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. I'm going to double check that time in a second to verify. Bear with me while I wipe this mess down. One of the things that I have when I make bread, obviously because I used to decorate cakes and stuff too. If you use one of these scrapers, it's really good because it doesn't scratch. It's blunt, so it doesn't scratch your counter, but it gets off any of those little like clumps that get stuck, especially when it comes to flour. It's like the easiest cleanup ever. Just wanna have. I gotta look up that recipe to remind me how long I'm supposed to cook these for. Hang on, guys. Walk with me. There's Maddie. Hi, YouTube. You can check out our cute little my Valentine's Day centerpiece for the kitchen table. I just got to look up something. They are, aren't they? Those scrapes are so great. Okay. Sorry, I just had to come out of the kitchen. I wanted to look up. For the life of me, I can't remember how long I'm supposed to cook those freaking bagels for. I know they're 350. I just don't know for how long. And I have it saved on my phone, but obviously I can't look at that right now. Let's see. High protein cottage cheese bagels. So they also suggest you can make these in the air fryer, Sassy. I have not tried that. I love my air fryer. They work really good in the oven, so. Okay. Oh, this is 375. I thought it was 350. Okay. Hang on 2 seconds, guys. Okay, so those have to cook for 25 minutes at 375. Hi, Sassy. That's a nice card you got me. Hey, dentures. We're just taking a little pause. Here, that's our little love you to the moon and back. You're my favorite adventure. This is my little Valentine's Day centerpiece. I love the choices of cheese here. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on I am such a cheese girl. You know what a new cheese that I've totally fallen in love with? Havarti. Now, have I ever had Havarti? Probably in my lifetime. But we had when did I have it? I had it somewhere. and I really liked it because it's so creamy and it melts so fabulous. It's like Gouda but better. I am a huge cheese girl, right? So we make this grilled cheese. One of our favorite restaurants made this fall grilled cheese. And I was like, okay, if we make one and we split it, calorie wise and whatnot, balance it out that way. And it's literally apples, caramelized onions, um, whatever kind of cheese you want. But we use at home, I use Havarti when I make it, and then fig jam, and you toast it like a grilled cheese. When I tell you it is so good, so I copycatted it because I was like, I have to be able to make this at home. And I've made it at home like, oh my gosh, I think 5 or 6 times, and it's so good. But yeah, Havarti is definitely, and then another one that I've really fallen in love with is a Vermont sharp white cheddar. So, and I am a cheese girl. I don't think there's been many, with the exception of blue cheese, which is Smooth's favorite. I can't stand blue cheese, but Smooth loves it. With the exception of that, I am a huge cheese fan. Right? I'm telling you. So, caramelized onions are like no calories, so that's nothing. Um, and then the bread, we get it either I make it or we've gotten it from the local bakery over here. And it's like 40 calories per slice. So the bread is super. Dentures, you're so funny. Um, So that's really low. And then I use Honeycrisp apples, which in my opinion is my favorite apple of all time. I think every single thing, if you're going to make something with apples, make it with Honeycrisps. There's just really no other point. And I found a fig jam that is like for 1 teaspoon is like 15 calories. So it really turns out swishy. You have a tree. What kind of tree do you have? You have a fruit tree? And you don't like Swiss cheese. So the only Swiss cheese that I like is Lorena Swiss, if you can imagine that. And it has to be with a ham sandwich. Otherwise, I don't want Swiss cheese. But what kind? You shut up. Oh my God. This is why I said we need to have a bigger yard or a garden or we need like acres. We were watching Michael Savage last night, who I absolutely adore. And he's basically he's a political author, I guess you want to say. I mean, he's 85 years old. He's been around forever. I knew a little bit about him, but Smooth has been watching him probably since he was in his early 20s. Um, so we watch him together, and I love like I don't know how else to say this. The man can literally know what's going to happen. It's the most uncanny thing. And Smooth told me that, and I never believed it. And now that I've been watching him for almost 10 years, like he knew COVID was going to happen before COVID. And then when COVID started, he laid out exactly how the whole world was going to fall apart, and everything has happened. He has this extremely uncanny ability. It's crazy. Um, but anyways, totally off topic. He had a lemon tree, and I said to Smooth, "Oh my God, if I had a lemon tree, could you just imagine?" Because he had these little orchids, and I said, "The only place you can grow orchids outside California." And then he had this lemon tree. But I have friends who have a pear tree. I have another friend who has, I know two that have pears and one that has a lemon. But I would love like when Honeycrisp season comes, that I'm all about it. Oh, thank you, dentures. I do. I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. We were talking. Smooth and I were talking about that last night in the living room. We were sitting down, and I said, and it's not that I'm not a girl power feminist or whatever, but there is something about traditional roles in a household that I find comfort in. Anyone else can do whatever they want, and I don't judge other people, whatever you want to do in your relationship, whoever you want to be in charge, whatever. We have this whole thing, okay, yeah, we're 50-50, But some days I need Smooth to be a 70 because I'm in a 30. And some days I need to be 75% of the relationship because he's having a moment or a hard time with something. So that's where you get the balance of just having a quality relationship when you're open and you're honest, you know, all of that helps. But I love the traditional roles. Like I he won't show me how to use a snowblower. And listen, I know he's particular and I know sometimes that maybe I could break it, but he's like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, no, because I used to get home before him. So I would say to him, show me how to use it so I can snowblow. I'll do it when I get home, you know. So he does a lot of the outside stuff, and I do mainly indoor house. You know, as cliche as it sounds, right? I cook, I clean, I make our house that he got us a home, and that to me is the goal of a successful relationship, a lasting, loving relationship, um, to be partners, you know. And I don't mind on certain things when he leads. I like that. My first marriage, I didn't lead at all. My first marriage, my husband could not make a decision at all. And I hated it. I was like, I don't want to be at 100% all the time. If somebody needs to support me, you know. And I never had that. And with Smooth, I know I'm getting a little wishy-washy, but with Smooth, one of the first things he ever said to me when I was having a moment, and he looked at me and he's like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be okay. We're strong. We're going to get through this. And he has said that to me over 9.5 years of every little thing when I start to lose myself. And he will say to me, we're fine. We're strong. We. It is never, you're going to do this. If you do this, you will get better. If you do this. It's always in a we situation. And that brings me such peace. It really does. And I've told him, I am not super close to my family, like I was just through different certain chains of events. I have a very small family, but I see my mom and dad. I talk to my mom and dad all the time. They're in a different state, and then I have an aunt and uncle, and and a sister. So that's literally my family. So it's very small. That's all I have left. Um, but Smooth and I have created this whole little family of, that this is us. It's me, it's him, it's Kaylee, it's Maddie. This is our family, and that's all we need. And if we're good, the whole world can be falling around us. But if the four of us are good, if we have a good core, that's all you need. Miss B, I love turning my brain off and letting Steve make decisions. See, I watched this guy on TikTok, who's kind of, I guess, I don't want to say he's motivational, relationship, God. It's a little bit of everything. Um, and I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not a God person. I was raised that way, but I'm not spiritual. But there's this guy that I watch, and he talks about a lot of the traditional stuff. Like, you can be a strong woman, and I'm not knocking that at all. I'm not saying that women can't be strong and independent. Shit, I am strong. I have been through it, and I have my independence, but I have this amazing partner that makes it that if I need to, I can shut off. I don't need to have my brain on. I don't need to bring my wallet. I don't need to bring my keys. I don't need to bring an ID or money or whatever the case may be. Because when Smooth and I are together, he's got me. And there's no other. I've been in relationships. I was married for a long time before Smooth. I never had that. So I just totally went on a tangent that I didn't expect. Sorry, guys. I got all lovey-dovey on you. But that's what I would wish for everyone. I wish for everyone, man or female, to find that one person that is your home. And Smooth is my home. Smooth is my home. So Maddie and I are Smooth's home. I never understand that, your partner comes home and whatnot, and you don't even acknowledge them and all that stuff. And, I grew up in a household that my dad came home and my mom pretty much met him at the front door. So, oh, so see, Sassy, you're probably close to I don't know how old you are. I'm 45, Smooth is 46. We've been together almost 10 years. Him and I were both married before that. A lot of people don't understand the calm someone can lead, how the ability to know and trust that can be leaned on. 1,000. Your oldest is 45. Sassy. Oh my goodness, lady. I had no idea. Well, that's crazy. Well, congratulations for 27 years. My parents just celebrated. Okay, wait, let me get this right. My parents just celebrated 56 years in November. They've been together 56 years. So, and it's amazing to see. It's My parents' situation is sad and heartbreaking at the same time. My mom is in a assisted care facility because she can no longer walk. She's been about it's probably been about 3 years. And in the beginning, my dad was her caretaker. Obviously they've lived together. But after his second heart attack, we knew that he could no longer be her caretaker. And God bless this fucked up insurance system that we have in America, because it would be cheaper to have an in home nurse where they could stay together than her being in a facility. But the insurance said, oh no, she can't have a live in nurse. She's got to go to a facility. So they sold their place, and my dad actually moved. He's 12 minutes from my mom, and he is in a senior complex, living his life. I mean, the man's a lunatic. He does movie nights and bingo nights, and oh, I'm going golfing with these guys, and they went mini golfing, and he. So I love that he is still able to have an active life. Um, but every single day, he wakes up, he has breakfast, he's by my mom by 10:30 every single day. So he spends the day with my mom. He's there 5, 6 hours. They have lunch together, sometimes dinner, and then he goes home, or he'll go and do his things. He volunteers at two different places, but yeah. And that's the hardest thing is they want to be together and they can't be. So um it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to see. It's an interesting dynamic when you have a sick parent, when you start doing things and they're leaning on you, you used to lean on them. It's a very interesting thing when you realize that you now parent your parents. So it's definitely something that's changed the way that I think about a lot of things. Watching the two of them. So I wish they could be together, but life is what it is, right? You deal with the cards you were dealt. But anyway, yes. So I guess that was appropriate, right? Because we're almost at Valentine's Day, so talking about love and relationships, you know, it's sad to me, people who lose their spouses. I both sets of my grandparents, right? And you hear this all the time. I lost all of my grandparents fairly young. I was 23 by the time my last grandpa had died. You end where you begin, and honey, and hopefully you are surrounded by love. Exactly. That's exactly it, right? That's all you really want. That's all people need. And I say this all the time because it drives me nuts, because I think COVID really hurt the core of this human connection. Human connection with people is so important, because we are social creatures. We are meant to socialize. We are meant to interact. We are meant to find partners, whether that be of the same sex or a different sex. I don't care. I think if I'm allowed to be happy, everyone should be allowed to be happy. There doesn't need to be a rule book of what's an appropriate or okay relationship or what's socially acceptable. Love is love, man. Love is love. I After my divorce and I went through some stuff, my aunt gave me this picture, Sassy, that says, and I have it upstairs, and I think it says sometimes you end up right back in the beginning and that's where exactly you were supposed to be. Hold on, Lulu, I need to steal this. Sorry guys, my phone's beeping at me to plug it in. Let's try to do that and see what happens. Let's see what happens so the phone doesn't die. There we go.